thank you for joining us. It is episode 3 of our new series, Dangerous Prayer. And today I have Emily with me. I'm sure you guys all know her very well. She's a little upset right now because I'm kind of in her seat.
Yeah, this is my bad side. I'm going to need to switch seats with you.
Do you do that real quick?
Do you want to?
No. Anyways, this is my good side. Well, we have to deal with our negative emotions sometimes, Emily. So, anyways.
You'll get that joke in a minute.
Yeah. So in week 1, we were here with Daniel, and we talked all about effective prayer, and we gave everyone some, kind of tips almost, kind of with praying and how to make that prayer effective towards God and for others as well. Week 2, we were here with Leah, and she talked about taking the good that God put in you and putting it out for other people. So back to the joke. We have to deal with our negative emotion as well. We all go through happy times in our life, but also kind of bad times too. And it's something we all deal with. The idea of pain and those feelings of, hopelessness, anger, frustration, irritation, sadness even, it's not a unique idea. And it's a weird way of kind of wording it. And when I was writing this, I was like, that's kind of weird. But it's not unique because we all go through it. We're all different in each of our ways, but we all go through pain. But it's in our own unique ways. We all deal with different things. I know I've dealt with different types of pain as Emily has, right? Mm-hmm. When's the time you remember going through a lot of pain?
I think I'm still going through it. It started, though, about 4.5 years ago when I was in high school. I was a junior, and I was diagnosed with depression and anxiety, which I'm sure a lot of people can relate to.
Yeah, definitely.
And I had never felt anything like that before, so it was new to me. It was scary.
Right.
But I've never felt such an emptiness or a sadness in my life. And even to this day, back this past January, they diagnosed me with bipolar disorder. So It was a little easier because the medications were not working forever, and it was frustrating, and I just kept getting sadder and emptier over the years.
Yeah.
And I still get those really low lows, and it's the most pain I've ever felt in my life. It's hard to even explain because it's not a physical pain.
Yeah.
It's like an emptiness kind of.
It's different than I think my most painful moment is a literal physical pain. For those of you who don't, kind of know me very well, back in February, I was in an accident at work. I was hit by a car, which Emily thinks is hilarious every single time that I bring it up.
You weren't in another car, though. You were standing and just boom.
Yeah, so that's what happened. But
if you were hit by a car, I apologize. It's just because it's her that it's funny to me. And she's okay, so it's funny.
Yeah, I'm great.
I'm sorry to anyone out there. Okay, sorry, guys.
But so... And, my pain was more like a physical pain. It hurt to walk, it hurt to sit, it hurt to do anything. But Emily's pain was, like she said, it's kind of undescribable in a sense. It's a feeling of emptiness where mine was more of a physical pain. But we both went through pain in some type of way. And everyone's pain is different. But we all ask ourselves the same question every time. And I could put money on that. And the question is why? And it's so simple. Why do we go through those things? Why do we go through these trials when... we all know that God is so good and he does such great things for us? Why can't we just experience that? Why do we have to experience the bad stuff too? Mm-hmm. Life would be so much easier, right? If we didn't have to have all these bad things. Yeah. But we have to realize that's not how it is. That's not how it is. And, when we are able to come to a realization that there is that purpose for that pain, that's when we really get to a different place with the Lord. So we realize that all things work for good for those who love God and are called according to his purpose. So you're going to go through those bad times. It's inevitable. But when you have a relationship with the Lord and you're able to realize that you go through those things to be closer to him, that's when you're going to find that purpose behind your pain, because no matter what you go through, there's a purpose behind it, whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. And while you're going through that pain, it's hard to realize that purpose. I know I didn't realize the purpose until now. Well, not right in this moment. That would be pretty cool. But
this message right here, right now. Maybe for some of them.
Maybe.
That,
this could be a point where they're like, that's why that happened.
Yes.
That's why I went through that. This all makes sense now. Mm-hmm. And I hope that you do, obviously come to a point where you can realize that. But there's purpose behind our pain because that pain leads to something greater. And that is something that takes a lot of strength to come to, but it also takes a strong relationship with the Lord as well. It's strength within yourself and strength within your relationship with him through prayer, really, that allows you to gain that. So we understand that building that relationship is super important. And one of the best ways you can do that is through prayer. I know that's worked, numbers on me being able to feel closer to him, because I can sit there and read scripture and go to mass and I feel close to him. But it's almost like when you're meeting a person for the first time, when you're becoming friends with somebody, you are closer to them when you have conversation with them, when you get to know them, whether the conversation's over text, because, that's kind of how things work nowadays. You can't just text God, unfortunately. You have to talk to him.
That would be cool.
Like
Think he'll give me his number?
Maybe, if you ask nicely.
I'll pray about it.
There you go. No, but so when you find that source of hope, you know what I mean? When you're praying with the Lord and you realize that, things down here on earth can be kind of hopeless sometimes. But when you talk to the Lord, you're going to find that deep connection with him that's going to bring you out and give you that purpose behind your pain. And I know that prayer for me has helped. Do you think prayer has helped you, like when you're going through pain?
Absolutely. I was reading this book, Seriously God, by our pastor, Father Michael White, and Tom Corcoran, his associate. And it talks about leaning into your emotions and prayer, turning it over to God. And when you lean into them and you accept what it's going to do to you, and then you pray about it, you pray to God to not just take it away, but to give you a stronger back to be able to carry it.
Right.
It brings you closer to him, so you have that hope again and that inner peace. And then it helps you get through life, get through whatever trial you're going through.
And how do you think that has helped you, like, specifically?
I mean, it gives me this feeling of joy, almost. I mean, we talked about in our last series the difference between happiness and joy, with earthly things making us happy, but these deeper things, like a relationship with God, a relationship with other people, that's what brings you the joy.
Yeah.
And I think that's what prayer does for me. The stronger my relationship gets with God through prayer, through going through these hard things, it's that joy, and that makes everything in my life so much better.
That's good. Yeah, definitely. And do you, kind of like to go to the opposite of that, do you feel like it's always, like, helped? Like, has there ever been a time where you feel like it didn't work out?
Sometimes I do get very frustrated because, for example, with the bipolar disorder, it comes in cycles. And every time it comes back, I'm like, why are you doing this to me again? We just fixed this. I did everything you told me. I prayed to you. And I'm right back at the beginning. But it goes back to the purpose you were talking about. Because there's a purpose of growing stronger to God, of being able to help other people who went through the same thing. I'm okay when that sadness comes again, because I know that God's going to help me through it if I just continue to turn it back to him.
That's awesome. It's good that you've come to that conclusion in those deep times too, right? And so I think in the world we're in the society we're in, we're kind of taught and, like, told to just deal with things by ourselves. Like, you come to someone with a problem and you're like, oh, you'll be fine. You can deal with it. You got this. You know what I mean? Yeah. And those are encouraging words. But when you think about it, it's almost like you feel like you only have yourself to deal with things. That's not the case. You have God. God is going to be there for you no matter what. And the more you pray and the more that you grow that relationship with him, you're going to learn to trust him a little bit more too. And you're going to feel like you can go to him about things, that he's there to help. And you're going to take all these negative emotions and negative trials, and they're going to turn into something greater when you have that relationship with him. And I know, like, it's hard to realize, but, sometimes on earth, our friends here aren't always there for us all the time. But you could treat God in the worst way possible. Like, my friend of the day, he gave me the example: take a $1 bill, you crumple it up, throw it on the ground, throw mud on it, stomp on it, you pick it back up, and you flatten it out, and you still have a $100 bill. And
that's, like, a really good comparison. That's God.
Yeah, he's worth way more than $100.
Right.
But the purpose is that you can do anything, and he's still going to be there for you, because in life, like, if I treated you the wrong way or talked to you the wrong way, you could be like, okay, Allison, we're not going to be friends anymore. But God's not like that. He's always going to be there for you no matter what. And when you come to that realization, you're going to get all of the joy out of life. And I think that's the most important thing. So thank you guys for joining us this week on episode 3. Next week, we'll be back here with Caitlin for episode 4. I hope we can see you guys then, and we hope that our conversation here fuels your conversation in small group. It was nice seeing you guys, and have a nice week.